Welcome to week 6 of Explore the Bible. Let me ask you, what happens if you lie to God? What happens if you just flat out lie to Him? What will He do? Well, we're going to find out today. Acts chapter 4, chapter 5. Looking forward to this. Before we dive into the passage, be sure and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up like button. Be sure and share this with other people. If you've got comments, questions, let us know where you're watching from. Put those there in the comments below. And if you want to support our work in teaching and in ministry, go to give.exposedtochrist.com. Let's look. End of chapter 4. Joseph, a Levite from Cyprus by birth, the one the apostles called Barnabas, which means the son of encouragement. Oh, what a great title, right? The son of encouragement, oh Barnabas. Sold a field he owned, brought the money, and laid it at the apostles' feet. What a great thing to do. What a great offering that he makes. There's no wonder that he's called the son of encouragement, right? The guy that encourages other people. Would you like having those people in your life? The people that just encourage you. It's good to be a Barnabas. It's good to have Barnabases around us. I mean, everybody's either the son of encouragement or the son of discouragement, right? Well, let's be around the sons of encouragement, and let's be the sons of encouragement. I'd rather be around that person than the son of discouragement. Sometimes you have to be around the son of discouragement, but I'd rather not. I'd rather be around the sons of encouragement, and that's who Barnabas is. So he takes this field that he owns, he sells it, and he brings the money, all the money, and lays it at the apostles' feet. Now, no doubt, people knew this. This story spread quickly, and so here's what happens, beginning of chapter 5. But a man named Ananias. Now, let me just say this. The Scripture was written with no chapters and verses. You know that, right? So it's okay to be at the end of chapter 4 and then the beginning of chapter 5. You're not breaking any rules there. It is just the story that's being told. And I think it's maybe fitting that this story about Barnabas, it certainly is enlightening to what happens in chapter 5, right? A man named Ananias with his wife Sapphira sold a piece of property. However, he kept back part of the proceeds with his wife's knowledge and brought a portion of it and laid it at the apostles' feet. Great, right? I mean, this sounds a lot like this, doesn't it? Here you've got Ananias and you've got Sapphira. They sell, they keep back part of the proceeds, right? But they bring a portion of it and put it at the apostles' feet. They lay it there at the apostles' feet, just like Barnabas did. Isn't that great? Ananias, Peter asked, why has Satan filled your heart to lie to the Holy Spirit and keep back part of the proceeds of the land? Okay, is Peter saying here, look, if you're going to sell your land, then you have to bring all of it. And if you only bring part of it, then you are a tool of Satan. That is not what he's saying. We have to read the rest of the verse, right? You have to read the rest of what he says to get the full understanding. He says, wasn't it yours while you possessed it? And after it was sold, wasn't it at your disposal? So why is it that you planned this thing in your heart? You've not lied to the people, but to God. Okay, so clearly we have here is that when they brought this money and laid it at the apostles' feet, they communicated they were bringing all of it. They were saying, we sold this piece of land, and here's the money we got for this piece of land. We're giving it to the church. But that is not what happened, right? They only gave part of it. So he said, you lied, right? You lied, not just to the people really, but to God. You lied to God. I mean, you told the people one thing, but you're telling that same thing to God. You're lying to God, right? Because you kept back part of the proceeds. And he says, look, it was yours. After it was sold, it was at your disposal. You could do with it what you want. And you could have just given part of it and said, hey, we sold this piece of land and here's part of the proceeds. That's fine. That's great. It's amazing. Not a lot of other people are doing that. But that's not what you did. What you said is, here's all the proceeds. Here's every bit of it. When he heard these words, Ananias dropped dead. He just fell over dead, right? And a great fear came on all who heard. I guarantee a great fear came on all who heard. Everybody was afraid, right? And the young men got up, wrapped his body, carried him out, and buried him. Story's not over. About 3 hours later, his wife came in, not knowing what had happened. That's important, right? She didn't know what had happened, right? But we'll go back here. His wife's knowledge. She knew what they had done. She just didn't know what had happened to Ananias, right? Tell me, Peter asked her, did you sell the land for this price? Yes, she said, for that price. This was their plan. Their plan was, it wasn't that she agreed that we'll hold part of it back, and then Ananias went and gave it, but told everybody we sold it for that. It was that she agreed, we'll hold part of it back, we'll give this, but we'll tell everybody this is everything we got. We won't tell them we actually got more. And we don't even know the percentage, right? Did they give half? Did they give 10%? Did they give 90%? We don't know. But she lied about it, right? Because she said, yeah, for that price. Then Peter said to her, well, why don't you agree to test the Spirit of the Lord? Look, the feet of those who have buried your husband are at the door, and they will carry you out. Woo-hoo! Oh, man, why did you agree to test the Spirit of the Lord? Why did you agree to lie to God? Why did you agree to be a part of this deception? These guys that are walking in the door now, they just buried your husband. They're fixing to go bury you. Instantly, she dropped dead at his feet. And when the young men came in, they found her dead, carried her out, and buried her beside her husband. And then great fear, I guarantee you, great fear came on the whole church and all who heard these things. Instantly, she dropped dead, just like her husband had. And those guys are just walking in the door. They're like, oh, here we go again. Let's go dig him in a hole. And that's what they did. Okay, what is the point of all this? I mean, why did this happen? And does this happen all the time that you lie to God? I mean, I don't think it does, because I'm pretty sure that I've said some things to the Lord that I didn't fulfill, that I meant to, I didn't, or that I just knew I wasn't going to, or whatever. Why does it not happen today? I mean, goodness, everybody would be dead, right? We have all these churches full of dead people. There is part of this is Barnabas sold this, and you know there was appreciation, right? You know that there was acclaim that came to him. And they were not just lying about what they did, they were doing it to get the fame. That's what they wanted. They wanted the congratulatory pats on the back. They wanted the sense of we are really good people without actually being good people. That's what they wanted. They wanted to have a sense, other people respecting them and holding them up as spiritual icons, when the truth was they actually weren't. It's part of why the Lord takes care of them this way, is because it's early and in the life of the church, and there has to be, we can't allow this to go unaddressed. They must be disciplined for this, and their discipline was harsh. And you could say that Sapphira had a chance. She could have fessed up. She could have said maybe she heard, but she hadn't heard. She didn't know, and so she just went with it because that's what we're going with, and I'm not going to throw my husband under the bus. We're going all in. I'm all in on this lie. I'm all in on this deception. I'm all in on the goal for us to be famous Christians because we sold our land and gave the proceeds to the church. That's what he wanted, and that was just, the Lord was not going to put up with that. He wasn't going to allow their deceitfulness, their deception. He wasn't going to allow their false motivation. He wasn't going to allow them to be held in esteem when they did not deserve that place. And we know that the way God dealt with them was harsh, much more harsh than he has dealt with people since. And I think it's because there was this need to establish a baseline with the people. They needed to understand how things were and the righteousness that was held, and this you're lying to God thing. You're not just lying to people, you're lying to God. And there is a holiness about being held accountable for our lies to the Lord. And this had to happen. It was hard. Obviously, it was harsh, you may say. It was too harsh, but we can't say that because the Lord is not, he does not dispense justice unnecessarily. There is a reason that this happened when it did, and there is a call to us to honesty. There is a call to us to not seek fame or acclaim. There is a call to us to not present false piety to the world, Be real. Be who you are. Look, I think transparency, which is a very popular word today, transparency is important. But transparency is not me confessing all of my sins on my YouTube channel. Transparency is me being real about who I am and what I believe and how I'm going to live my life to the best of my ability, doing so in a way that's honest and with integrity. That's what transparency is needed. Not just saying, hey, I do all these things. They're terrible things. And yeah, there they are, But it is to be a person of integrity and do my best to try to uphold the standards that I believe God's called me to live by, as well as everybody else to live by. And this is hard because we see this, what happens if you lie to God? Well, God could just strike you down. And you know what? He'd be justified if he did it to me or any one of us. And there are occasions when he has. I've heard the stories. Maybe you've heard stories of that. There are times when he does. So be careful about what it is that we seek. Be careful about what we present to others, because in fact, we are presenting those things to the Lord as well. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope it's helped you as you prepare and teach. God bless you as a teacher. Really pray for you and appreciate you. Be sure and subscribe. Hit the like button. Give us a comment. Tell us where you're watching from. Share it with somebody else. Appreciate it if you'll do that. We'll see you next time.